Alright, I am going to attempt to refinish this cheap old fake wood dresser. It's either that or I'm going to throw it away and buy something new. So I'm going to attempt to redo it once I figure out how to get this drawer opened. And I'm going to take you along for the process in case you have a similar dresser.
First step was to get this thing out of the house, which was easier said than done. Because I couldn't remove the bottom drawer, it was actually pretty heavy. And I don't know why this bottom drawer was stuck, but it wouldn't open at all. This was an old dresser that a roommate of mine had left behind. And so I was debating just throwing it away, and I thought, why not try to refinish it and make it look nice again? So I actually disassembled the entire drawer and actually had to remove the very bottom piece of the dresser as well. But I just made sure to keep the screws and all of the parts so that I could put it back together. Then I realized it was 100 degrees and decided to wait until it was a little cooler in the evening to go ahead and do the next step, which is to sand it. You don't need to sand it to the point that the top coat is all the way off, but you do need to make sure that that top shiny coat is off so that the primer is really able to sink in so that you'll be able to do another top coat without any of it scratching off. Once you've finished with the sanding, you're going to want to go through with a cloth and wipe all of it down good. And then the next step is the primer. For these projects, you're going to want a shellac primer. This was the brand that I used, and I was able to barely finish it with one can. The primer sprayed on really easily though. I was worried it was going to be kind of like spray paint, but it wasn't at all. Really easy to work with. Then I let that dry overnight before taking it inside because we had some rain in the forecast. And then I decided to use Retiket's natural wood top coat. I've seen really great things about this product on other DIYers videos, so I wanted to give it a try on something that I didn't really care about to make sure that it was going to work. The key is to brush this all on in the same direction so that it can take a wood type shape. They also have a way that you can make it look like it has actual grain. I decided to just paint it all the way through. So I did one coat and then let it dry for a couple hours before going through and putting a second coat on. And we've got to just take a moment to appreciate my cute little helpers here. Aren't they adorable? Okay, we're almost done. So one of the last steps is to do a top coat, and I went with a polyurethane matte top coat finish. This is the product that I went with. I wanted to do a matte finish instead of the satin, so it didn't have that really shiny, almost fake wood look. Once I did the first top coat, let it dry for a few hours, and then you're going to want to go through with a really light sander and sand all of that down before going ahead and doing another top coat. And you can do as many coats as you want. It just makes it more durable. I went ahead with 2. This is the 220 grit sand block that I used for this. These are nice to have on hand because they last quite a while when you're doing any of these type of finishing projects. Okay, and the last and final step for this dresser project was to replace the hardware. I think that's the easiest way to upgrade any type of furniture and make it look nicer. These are the solid brass dresser pulls that I decided to go with. I will link all of this stuff in my Amazon storefront in the video description below. I measured the previous drawer handles and they measured out at 4 inches, so that's what I bought to replace it, but the holes didn't line up perfectly, so I ended up having to drill an extra hole into the dresser in order to be able to secure all of the hardware. But fortunately, you can't see the old hole because it blocks it. So this is the final finished product. And just to remind you what it looked like before, I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks so much better. And it's a dresser that I can continue to use for years without having to buy something new. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck if you try to do this project.